Hello.
I'm sorry, theme music, but you must go down.
Wow.
It's so
Music Murray.
loud. It's so loud in my ears.
Yes, you most certainly should turn it down to a comfortable volume.
It's been pretty good. I just usually didn't do it for the opening is louder than everything else for some reason.
Make sure you know it's there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm doing Moogle crests right before, so I have the Moogle music.
Incredible.
Oh, that's much better music than whatever drag shit's playing. Thankfully, we ended the last session on a real lighthearted note, so.
True.
Yeah, it was pretty low key the ending of last session.
I don't even remember what happened.
The ultimate cliffhanger.
We all hugged or something, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course.
So there's a
While
little
hanging off a cliff.
You all had a little disagreement, but there was a friendship victory, so it's fine.
I sure hope space stuff happens today.
Nah, couldn't.
Get on Kalshi and make it happen.
Our characters all get knocked out and then wake up in a fantasy setting.
Soccer being as big as an entire planet will never fail to amuse.
There absolutely is a Kalshi program set up on one of the Apache corps.
Incredible.
On the lap phone today.
What's that, Bear?
It's a cat on the lap folk today. She knew. She's like, it's dice time?
Incredible power increase. Incalculable.
Inconceivable. Let's not be.
Alright, check them out there, let me transition that. Alright, so speaking of last session, who would like to give us a recap for the cost of one Ultima, hero point?
Yeah, can I convert my hero points from one session to Fabula points in the other, and vice versa?
You have to convert them to Ultima points in this campaign, I fear. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's fine. Nah, I'm down.
Our heroes had bravely escaped the collapsing facility, and at that point got into the gob machine, the Gobinator, and we're heading back to home, and we had a really cool GPS sequence where we, threw food at sea creatures and begged the ship to go faster, and got back just in time to find a political uprising happening that definitely wasn't our fault in any way.
Mhm, mhm.
And at that point, we saw members of House Lazuli being rounded up and executed unceremoniously by police and other peacekeepers. So we intervened, fought, and managed to defeat giant enemy crabs. And once we had done that, it was revealed from a pilot we had captured that this is all, planned based on information that their leadership got about House Lazuli betraying everyone. But it turns out all those people that were executed and we thought were dead from the house are actually illusion. It was not real. Gasp, we had been deceived. That's where we ended.
That's true. Yeah, as a hero point for Sieg. Yeah, we'll go ahead and add that.
Yeah.
No, wait.
Proceed.
No, you stole it.
For Sieg, it's his house that died.
Okay, fine. You can have the hero point. Based on law of averages of this campaign, he's going to need it more than me.
Sorry, I mixed up some of the S names in the party. There's only a few of them.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of dyslexic, you know?
Sounds fake.
I have that problem in real life. I have so many people with J names, and I always swap them out when I'm talking.
Yeah, so we'll pick up here, though. Outside of House Lazuli. So, Sapphire had just tried to use a vestige ritual that she has learned through her vestige archetype, which is reverse the cycle, which allows you to bring a dead creature back to life. However, attempting to target Riel Lazuli, as soon as she attempted to touch the body and begin casting the spell, realized there was an illusion and it faded away. And noticing Sapphire's reaction, you all realized that her body was an illusion.
Gasp.
So, what would you all like to do?
Actually, not really gasp. Me and Square were kind of like, what are you doing over there?
Was it just the person we attempted to revive was gone, or is it everybody?
You attempted to touch one body and realized it was an illusion. No one else has done anything else yet.
Squib's gonna start touching other bodies, like shake.
Are you just gonna go through and just start shaking everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first three bodies in front here, Squib starts shaking dead bodies. And you...
Squid. What the heck?
Did you not just see what happened?
Of course I saw what happened.
And you can continue, DM.
Okay. You gonna continue doing your thing?
Yeah, it's still just shake. Does it seem like they're also disappearing, or
So the
it
ones...
seem pretty real?
You go to the next row, and this android there is a person. You go to grab Sapphire's Novalis' body, and that fades away. And you go to shake Marty, his body fades away. And as you go through the rest of them, all of their bodies are real bodies.
Okay, so all the big names got alive still? I still feel bad for these people. But we've been
Bloody
tricked.
typical.
We've been backstabbed. We've been quite possibly bamboozled.
Why would only those three be illusions?
Collateral or something? Like hostage situation?
Or they had the plans for this kind of thing.
Think they're in on it?
I have no idea what's happening, but I think that high-ranking people usually have plans if they're, kidnapped or attacked. So maybe they just had a strategy for this kind of thing.
So I agree that high-ranking people tend to have backup plans, but Marty,
Marty doesn't seem like a plan ahead guy. He seems more like me.
Marty didn't seem very high ranking to me. Sapphire turns and looks at Sieg. Unless I'm mistaken.
High ranking. He's not even truly part of the family.
Okay, then clearly something strange is going on here.
They still killed a bunch of people though, even if they weren't like. I mean, like it's like if they were named characters in a game or something, or not in this case.
Oh, I mean, absolutely mass murder occurred here. Just why?
I don't like it.
I wish I had answers, but I am only here to hit things.
You do more than hit things.
Well, I can fly, but I don't get to do that much. It is a cursed water.
I know what you mean.
Did that guard not say that reinforcements were on their way? We should get inside quickly.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Indeed, they did. All right. You all try to access the door, and it opens without issue.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, it seems like it's still unlocked. So, as you swim inside, you see that there's stuff thrown amiss. There's, it's clearly the area was raided and people taken outside quickly, as much as you could tell underwater. And when you get inside, you see Riel, Marty, and Sapphire is there, and Sapphire is, with her underwater breathing equipment, is just panting heavily, visibly out of breath, tired, and the others look pretty shaken. They don't seem to have noticed you all come in. You're like a little bit of a lower level.
I won't say hello this time.
oh, I will.
No,
Hello.
it's okay to say hi to them.
Oh, okay.
We are so glad you all are dead, but that doesn't account for the people who are.
Riel notices you, and she swims over a little bit. She goes, oh, thank heavens you're all alive.
Yeah, but there's more coming, so I don't know if that'll stay true for a long time.
I've got to plan an escape. And she turns and looks at other Sapphire. She goes, after that trick I just pulled, I don't expect any kind of out. I was. That's why we prepare contingency spells. I'm gonna need a minute, Sapphire says. That was a lot of mana getting us out of that.
Can you all explain what the heck's going on?
Riel swims over and she goes, we were accused of working with active Amazurian military with evidence, and I know the penalty of that, and I accept that. And what I could have lied, I could have denied it, I could have any number of things. She says as she kind of swims over. She goes, I just honor's one of the few things I've got left, and well, I've damn failed this house. I'm not any fit to be a leader of it. I never was. Just glad we had our consultant here to bail us out. I didn't expect that. And other Sapphire goes, "You might be willing to die for your honor and causes, but I'm sure not."
So true.
So, like, aren't there usually trials instead of just public execution? Like, how unusual is this?
I mean, we were accused of a crime. I admitted to it. I'd rather die with my honor intact than be branded a failure of a leader and a liar and besmirch Lizzie's honor.
Sapphire is just silently looking at her feet.
Yeah, but I don't know. Doesn't really help all the house folk out there.
No. You're right, it doesn't. There's not much that would.
But I mean, the real the real problem makers are the ones who did the killing. So how do
They
we handle
followed
that?
our society's honor and code. If it was another house, we would have taken part in doing the same.
Sapphire, you're diplomatic, right? Can you talk? I don't understand the thought process going on here.
Perhaps this isn't the time, Squid.
All right.
I like the, hey Sapphire, can you make their culture unlike their culture? Make them stop.
Clearly, I don't get this, boss. You can look at people in the face and nod and say sure.
I don't think anything I would have to say would be helpful right now.
So, Marty's been quiet this whole time. And he finally just kind of is like, wants to break the awkward silence. He goes, "So, I understand why you saved yourself, and I understand why you saved Riel, but why me?" And Sapphire kind of other Sapphire kind of straightens herself out. And she looks over and she goes, "You go way back with the other heir there." And looks at Sieg. "If I let you die, they probably wouldn't help us."
I mean,
And Marty just kind of looks like awkward and just kind of like fidgets with his hands, goes, "Ah."
hold on. You said help us. What are you expecting?
I don't know. It's gonna be up to Riel what she wants to do with the clan from here. She's not a surviving member. She wants to rebuild, or I don't know. Oh, speaking of, before I forget, and Squib, she refunds your 10k that you, or she gives you back the 10k that you put down as a security deposit on the ship.
Oh, thanks. I can just add that to my sheet.
And Riel swims over, and she kind of puts one of her hands on like Sieg's shoulder and goes, "If anyone was a better fit to be a future leader of the house, it would have been you. But I'm not going to force that responsibility on you. I can tell I failed at it, but we either let this happen, we attempt to plead our case in front of the Grand Collective for the existence of our house, or we flee. There will most certainly be some sort of meeting after this action."
Well, see, this is your house, isn't it?
Yes, in a manner of speaking. But can you really call it my house when I've been gone for so long?
I have no idea.
Probably depends on your emotional attachment to it.
And Riel goes, "You're Lazuli, you are a member of the house. Even if you disappeared, I still consider you a member of the house, and I remember when you were actively around. So, I mean, it's up to you. I'm not going to force this on you. I'm not going to force membership on you here. Appreciative of any and all help, but just didn't see everything turning out like this."
Not all things go to plan.
Well,
Look, in terms of help, I can't speak for the group, but well, politics aside and that sort of thing, the robot that did this and everything kind of pissed me off. So, like, I'm down to help.
all I know. Oh, go on.
Go ahead.
The destruction of your house appears to be some sort of karmic plot, so stopping that seems like it's in everyone's best interest.
Other Sapphire kind of crosses her arms and goes, "I don't really believe in karma, but, I don't know the history of the house."
They also seem to be really mad at the Ambiorians, which my boss is, and I don't think it would probably be good to let that group control the planet, and who knows what escalates from there.
At this point, Riel kind of swims over to Sapphire as well. And she goes, "I, on behalf of House Lazuli, am grateful for your aid and assistance, but I understand the other houses and my people's resentment towards the Emirians, and I'm sure if you know history much, you may understand why, but conflict I wish we could put behind us."
I agree with what you're saying, but the point still remains that if I were not here, they would not all be dead. It is probably not best to get me involved more.
No, but they know you're here, and they're going to try to find you.
Do you truly believe their plots would not advance without you here? They would simply find another way.
You're
I
being
hate
too
that
harsh
you're
on yourself.
probably right.
You're a convenient excuse, I think.
And other Sapphire speaks up and goes, "In your defense, we wouldn't have gotten any more information on this reform bullshit if y'all weren't here and kind of snooping around for us. So I mean, you kind of got a fresh perspective there. Getting caught by security cameras blowing up military assets probably didn't help."
At least we have a good explanation for that one.
Riel looks at you and she goes, "Oh, I've been trying to corroborate that one and sort of get that straight in my head. What exactly happened?"
There was an AI down there that seemed to be behind the plot of this whole reform movement, and I don't know if it was to get at me or to get at your house. It seemed like potentially both. I When we went down there to investigate, we heard it tell us basically most of its plans and saw fit to destroy it, I suppose. Rash, maybe, but I don't think we did the wrong thing.
There's much more than that. Have you seen it?
Seen what? Before?
The evidence presented.
I have not.
So she kind of nods over to Marty because he's holding a tablet. And he kind of brings over this tablet and he shows you the footage that was presented because it's available on like online on like news sites. And it's got your voice, it's got your likeness, and it has some parts of the location, but it has clearly been doctored a bit to show you destroying much more than you did.
I do not know if anyone would believe us, but this is clearly fake.
And there is a inflammatory title like Amurian warmonger comes back for revenge, destroys military assets, sparks new war.
It does explain the reaction a little, though.
And
It
so
does not look good.
we all kind of looked at you just expectantly like, what do you think of this?
And you admitted to this?
I admitted to working with the vested, yes. I would have
There's a
no way
pretty
to
big
verify one
distinction.
way or another. There are clear
Like,
records
hey,
that you all came and went, and she came and went, and employee records with us.
true, but I mean, you kind of just loaned us a car and pointed us in a direction. If I loaned Sieg the gob machine and he ran over like 10 pedestrians, I wouldn't have known that. I don't think he would do that. Would you do that, Sieg?
Like you said, you wouldn't have known that.
But if cameras caught Sieg running them over, he would still be tried as the owner of. He'd still be tried as the owner of the vehicle. So, you said there was an AI. Are you truly certain you've destroyed it?
Not in the slightest.
The facility's
No.
destroyed, I can say that much, but
I think it is accurate to say we have destroyed a node of it that it was using, but the actual intelligence I don't think was there. Like a puppet.
And she kind of just is in thought, and she's like, I see. Perhaps this has been the true enemy all this time. To sow division in the houses and dress it up as camaraderie and common ground. Did it identify itself?
I don't think so.
Oh, Nephilim? Yes, of course.
Different, yes.
No.
So Riel kind of just like tilts her head towards Sapphire, other Sapphire, who I shall refer to as Miss Novellis. And she pulls out like a tablet and begins looking things up. And she kind of goes, does the term karmic war mean anything to all of you? That's the one
Someone, I think,
question.
said the karmic word like a minute ago.
Yeah, seeing mention about something about that, but it's sparse. There's almost nothing publicly online about this.
I think it got one sentence when I went to school.
And then she's kind of scrolling, goes, ah, damn, I'm in Urian Firewall. God, I can't use that site.
Sapphire's gonna hold out her hand, just say, "Give it to me."
Eh? Sure. And she hands you the tablet.
I assume Sapphire has some sort of like top secret clearance that she can log in with.
Give me a computer check.
Oh boy!
Give me a secret computer check. If you know how to find a login page for this firewall.
Roll a one, she just keeps mistyping the password.
Right, let me.
Okay.
I'm warning you now. I don't know how to use a computer.
You're able to find a login page and your credentials.
Holy shit, let's go.
Yeah, just a DC 10 check.
Okay.
That 11 will beat it. Huh. And are you gonna search, or are you gonna hand it back to her?
I'm gonna go back to her. That's all the computer Sapphire can handle for today.
Understandable. And she's kind of looking through, and she goes, something about a commander in a war. Nothing too substantial.
It was, at least as far as I'm aware, a long time ago, and I believe Alexander took part in it. We need to dig into it more. I'm sure he would tell me something, but I do not know too much about it myself.
Please, Riel, hold your hands together. If you have an ally in this, now would be the time to reach them.
One quick side note while Sapphire considers that. You should also know that those little propaganda bots, when we fought the AI, an assassin droid popped out of one. So be aware.
Other Sapphire, looks over and she goes, not entirely unexpected. I had a feeling there was some way for some sort of political manipulation.
Also, enemy reinforcements are converging on this location.
Riel nods and goes, if we're gonna make a decision, we should make it quick.
I could contact Alexander, but it may take some time. And I will be honest, I am unsure if it is wise to get more of my government involved right now.
I will respect your decision.
But I think I know someone who might be able to help.
Is it us?
Sapphire just smiles to squib a little. Yes, but not with information about an ancient war.
Oh, okay. I don't know. You guys did pretty good that time you went to the library or whatever.
Sapphire is going to kneel down and cast message targeting the source of her powers and reach out and just say, Yimyar, I seek guidance. and knowledge.
And you sit and you pray. And it seems like there's not going to be a reply when you hear a voice in your head. Han?
There was a war a long time ago. Our people call it the Karmic War. Can you tell me anything about it?
There is a longer pause this time. What I know about those aligned with karma, they have deemed themselves judge, jury, and executioner of the universe. And thus, due to an ancient slight that they have perceived, they sought to eliminate the Amazurians, those on other planets, the whole sector.
It would seem that they have returned. How were they defeated before? Or at least driven away?
Through faith, prayer, and the perseverance and diligence of those who are devoted.
Of course. Thank you.
I've only know that I lent my aid to Alexander and Yulia and those who would wield my shield in defense of themselves. As I am through you now, my child.
You said they threatened Amiuria and the whole sector. Did they attack everywhere at once, or was it more precise?
Of that I do not know. These are more finite matters of the sector and the mortal realm.
Of course. Thank you for your counsel.
And the booming voice says, just reach out whenever you need, my child. I will be here to comfort you.
Sapphire just slowly stands up, says, well, unfortunately, I do not know many more specifics, but if this is a return as to what attacked the sector back in the Karmic War, will take every planet working together, I think. So maybe we need to take some risks to find some unity amongst our people. Says, looks up towards Riel.
I'm at rock bottom, so I'm willing to take any risk at this point. My life is forfeit. All I've got intact is my honor, and it's a miracle. No, not a miracle. It's the skill of Miss Novalis that I'm even alive. And she goes, that's right. And she puts one hand on her hip.
Sapphire kind of like looks over at the other Sapphire for a second, and then back at Riel. We will make sure your life is not forfeit. If we are to be safe, the sector is to be safe. It's going to take all of us. Perhaps we need to get a message to Alexander then and work out some sort of, I don't know, safety for you at least. But I fear how that will look to the rest of your people.
We don't have a lot of options to how it looks to the rest of the people. There's already being a message spread and and she's kind of like lost for words for a second. She goes, a narrative being written, and I'm not in it.
Well then, job one, get out of here, get to safety, all of us. See, can the ship carry this many people?
Assuming you're talking about just the people in this vicinity, absolutely.
Well, then we know what we must do.
Do you not have any contacts in the other houses? Any sympathetic ear that could hear our plight?
Everyone, when appearing as a regent, I'm sure you know the program. When the Grand Collective meet, each house is represented by a regent, not by name, but Regent Lazuli, Regent Sagittarius, that sort of thing, and they're sworn to neutrality within the Grand Collective, but that said, they're still human. They're still with emotions. They're still people. If we were to request a plea, they would be mandated to hear us out at least. Or we could be shot on the spot. At this point, I don't know what weight my name carries, but yours might still.
So I do not believe wholehearted retreat from the planet will help us in any fashion.
There is a chance that if we can intercept whatever follow-up discussion they're having about this and being a part of that talk, that might be our only only chance to even get a say in this. And she says as she nods to Sieg.
I believe that would be prudent. In our current state, I'm not sure we could reach the surface, let alone leave.
You're right. We'll take our chances closer to here then.
Do you have any close friends in the other houses? Someone we could get even the slightest bit of information from?
She shakes her head and goes, not past outward relations. And I fear No one who would trust me in light of this news.
Would raising the alarm about the karmics change anything?
I'm sorry. What are the karmics?
Well, I'm just calling the AI that.
I see. I don't know what sort of proof we have to levy that.
If we could,
we can show people what we saw, but there's no guarantee they won't think it is just an illusion or baked in some way.
Still, may
Uh,
be worse to put it out there, though, right?
And
what if we cracked? Oh, gone.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Okay. What if we cracked open one of the propaganda bots and got an assassin to pop out?
Suppose that could be useful. And as you're talking, Sakura, you notice there's a woman kind of in a fetal position on the ground next to you who's just writhing and holding her head, and she goes, You, don't you hear this voice? How are you so calm? How are you resisting this?
What's going on?
Sakura will grapple her.
Ah, ah, ah. As you grab her, she seems to wince harder.
What are you hearing?
Did you hear that call from them? All of us. A call to action to do things just like before. They've been silent for so long to be able to eke out a peaceful life. Ah. And she's like, you can see she's just like clutching her. She's trying to clutch her temples now that you're forcibly restraining her.
Mm-hmm. What is the voice saying? Just call to action?
Telling me what to do, where to report. It's a vague term. You don't hear it? You're just like me, aren't you?
I have no idea what that means.
And for all of you, you hear this woman speaking in your first language.
What's going on?
Don't know.
Please just make it stop or help me or something. That voice
What
that
are you?
same as you. I'm not from this plane. When Netfrom was knocked out of the sky, we were all able to maybe just kind of disappear and be part of society, just like you were, right? And now it wants control of me again.
Does Sakura know anything about what she's talking about?
No.
Understandable.
Unless
I
you're
was
not, and you're just. I don't know why I feel that connection if you're not.
I'll be honest, I have no idea either. Do you want to be knocked unconscious or something?
She doesn't respond. But she does seem frightened of you now.
Oh, good.
There's gentler ways to help someone relax, Sakura.
Yes, but after the thing was in my head when we were underground, I'm just not risking her pulling a blaster or exploding or something.
I think that's something we'll have to worry too much about.
I'm kind of curious. Does she have cybernetics?
Not that you can see.
Sapphire's going to kneel down next to her. Pull up her arm that has the cat on it. A couple buttons and cast Clear Mind into her. There.
All right. All right. Give me a counteract check.
Let's go.
Just D20. We're going to hear a point.
That's valid. So I think it's 20 plus your spellcasting modifier.
Yeah, let me roll a spellcast check for it.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, spellcasting ability modifier and the spellcasting proficiency bonus. Same as your spell attack. There's only a spell attack.
Yeah. Oh, same number. The bonus is added.
Okay. So you feel whatever magic is on her mind. You're not able to drive it from her, but she immediately loosens up. Goes, whatever you did, thank you.
It's not much, but
If there's anything you want to know, I'll try and tell you. Just please don't hurt me.
Sakura will let her go. I'm not trying to hurt you, just trying to make sure nothing went sideways. It has been in my head before, so...
And she kind of stands herself up. Based on a sort of until the beginning of your next turn, I'll say that it suppresses it for about a minute.
okay.
So, what do you all want to ask her?
How does it influence you?
And she goes, so, I will be killed for this, I'm sure. A lot of us came here, probably her as well, through the Crusade of Cleansing. And our primary strategist and leader for the operation was a highly intelligent AI known as Nephrim. When the Emirians, it seemed like we were going to be successful and be another thing and off to the next world. And, but when the Emirians knocked the flagship out of the sky, it seemed to knock out Nephrim's ability to contact the outside world, but whatever spark started the crusade in the first part, there's something related probably to the domains, probably reactivated it. Most of us who weren't killed as active duty by the Amirians and the Persians tried to sneak into society and just kind of exist, because we're not getting back to where we came from.
Where did it... You said it was telling you where to rendezvous. Where is that?
I don't know anymore. Since this is off my mind, I don't remember anymore. I'm sorry, it's like the tip of my tongue. I just don't have... She shakes her head. I'm sorry.
How many of you are on the planet?
I don't know, sorry. Most of us don't have contact. We don't have our central communication network, and that's how it's reaching back to me. It's just there. It's like I'm talking to you with my mouth. Well, I guess it's not a mouth. It's more of a plain speech, but you know. I guess you don't know, but it's hard to explain. Look, compared to people from the Prism, our language is inherently understood, I think, by the subdialects that you all speak. I can tell when somebody's bullshitting me that they don't speak Marcian because I know they hear me. And she kind of briefly chuckles.
Were the domains related to your initial mission? Was that related to trying to separate or unite the domains?
No, nothing about the domains like that. Ever since we got the spark when the Amigurians ripped one of them in half. But no, all these worlds were split from the Prism into, well, all these other ones, and that's... The progenitors thought they were playing God, and I mean, you can't just let that go. That's abhorrent. That's at least what we were informed.
Who are the progenitors?
Idolin.
You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but they were, well, the people who made what you now call Aurousa and Olivio. Or they were. They paid a high price for their sins. Initially, it was determined that we couldn't put a world to death for the sins of their creators, but when the children began repeating their mistakes, that's when we returned.
Terrifying. Sakura will look to Sapphire, our Sapphire, and Sieg and say, I know we want information, but would her confessing help House Sapphire? Or Lazuli? Too many blues.
It might help, and it also might just be seen entirely as a ploy to get out of danger, but
It is impossible. She would be dead before she could utter a word before a crowd.
Hmm.
Zeke's right.
Besides, why would anyone believe her?
Well, you know, rattle the propaganda droids, get an assassin to pop out. I'm not good at politics.
Tear one out.
And she goes, I can tell you. And she kind of grabs her temple leaf. Nephrim's been reactivated. It's going to try and take its original mission, and it would have no reason not to. The core must be somewhere on this planet or this world that's close. You can feel it, right?
Does Sakura feel it?
You don't feel it particularly strongly.
Okay. I do not feel it.
How? How are you able to resist this call?
Honestly, I wish I could tell you. This AI thing, it said I was a traitor, and I have no idea what it is talking about at all.
Yeah. And she walks up and kind of puts a hand on like your collarbone. She goes, "You're a karmic creature too. I can feel the link between us. You feel that too, right?" And if I don't know if you think Sakura would realize this, but the way she's speaking to you feels extremely like natural and familiar, more than any language you speak.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, hi or wow, or if you got your brain wiped or something, but
I don't know. I was told, like, I remember being born on a Pershie. It's Pershie. The AI said I had some sort of completed rock put in me. Did that make me karmic?
no, you would have had to be plucked out of the life stream. Most people don't retain any memory or soul or thing like that, and most certainly not being born, usually printed at a facility or, you know, created by the superior being, you know. Yeah, I might use the term printed, as you were just created out of life force energy, but someone would have had to have done it. Something, maybe, but probably someone.
Oh.
And if you have a memory before this, then oh, that's unique. Someone used a lot of energy to do that. They would have had to kill you first, though.
Hmm.
And at this, she grabs her temple again, and she doesn't quite fall to her knees, but you can see she's kind of struggling again. It damn well cares about you. I don't know how you can't hear that.
I'm sorry, I don't hear anything. Does the name Kal-El mean anything to you?
No, but it's a common name.
Is it?
Yeah. Well, it is where I'm from.
I
And at this, she's clutching her head and kind of backs up against the desk and is kind of bracing against that. Don't want back into this damn hive mind. This is so difficult to remain any kind of free will in this. Shit.
I have some experience. Would you rather die?
No, I don't want to die.
Well, I was just asking. I guess I don't remember dealing with the hive mind, so I don't know how strongly you would feel about this.
And at this, she kind of straightens out. And she goes, well, I'm afraid that this is all the time that I can give you today. And she reaches into a drawer behind her, quickly pulls out a knife, and stabs herself.
Oh, holy.
I didn't want to interject, but
Oh.
Sapphire was going to attempt to cast a spell as soon as she's trying to reach into something.
Okay, yeah, you can try, and if you have a reaction, you can try.
A reaction?
She's going to reach really quickly, so how fast are you casting this?
It's a 2-action spell, so
Are you casting this as soon as she, like, straightens out?
as soon as she's like starting to reach into her pocket.
She basically straightened out, took a different posture, and then started reaching into the desk.
I was gonna say, soccer can transcend deflection.
Okay, then what do you want to cast, Sapphire?
Sapphire was going to try to cast stasis. She starts reaching for something.
Okay. She's not you or an ally, so you cannot use Transcendent Deflection.
Okay.
Stasis, a focus spell. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna say that based on this, she's not gonna be able to pass the DC 30 of your will save. And she's gonna be held in stasis for about 3 minutes, and she has the knife, and it is about to reach her body when your spell goes off. As the flow of time congeals and pauses around her.
Sapphire kind of sighs. Unless anyone has any bright ideas about how to stop this.
I don't know. We can't pry it out of her hands while you have her frozen, I assume.
No.
Cryostasis. I got nothing.
I can stop her from dying, but I am not sure that that will help.
She would still be under the computer's control.
Sapphire just
We
nods.
can, well, we can preserve her life,
See,
but is that a
Can
Can I
greater
attempt to
harm?
figure out the connection?
The connection?
The connection that Nephrim has to these people.
Yeah. Okay, this is gonna be a religion check. Let me figure
I
out what
see.
an appropriate DC is gonna be for this.
I'm gonna go ahead and just pass. That's not happening.
Sakura can YOLO.
I was kind of hoping it was an implant so I could finally use augmentation lore for the first time in the campaign, but no dice.
Unfortunately not. Okay. So I will say if you have a religion skill, you can try and roll this secret check. This is a recall knowledge. If you have an appropriate lore that relates to karmic creatures, you can try and make this lower DC. And I will say that Plane of Fire is relevant here, and the other players will know why. I'm gonna say I'm looking through the lores everyone has, and I think these are relevant.
Not Ruach.
can any of us can make any of the checks?
If you have the appropriate lore, you can make that check. Otherwise, make the religion check if you want to.
Religion's my best one, so.
Forgive me, Ymir.
Religion
should it
check,
be-
Yimyar check, it's basically the same.
True. Should it be blind to game masters or private to game masters?
Blind to Game Master.
Private would
It
mean
should
you see
do
it.
Yeah. You click it, it should do the right type of roll.
Yep.
That's what I said. I just wanted to double check.
Okay. First off, Sapphire, as you're stewing on all of this and these things, you do remember a section in one of the military training classes that you were required to attend as a vestige, training on Amaria, to be an official part of the military, about the Karmic War, and about the believed commander, which was Nephrim, which was some sort of sentient AI that seem to communicate instantaneously and telepathically to all of the karmic creatures under its command, and it seemed to be some sort of intrinsic to their nature, because it was incredibly hard to suppress or disrupt with typical magic and electronic warfare. As for Sakura, you kind of feel this intrinsic kind of link that the other karmic creatures have been able to talk to you and vice versa. And you remember when Nephrim, the core, tried to talk to you and control your mind, and you could kind of feel that there was some sort of intrinsic link back and forth, but you weren't really sure how to speak back to it. You just know it can speak to you.
It has a one-way radio into my skull.
I don't know if we're going to be able to break the connection. Clearly, it's possible if what she is saying about you is accurate, Sakura, but
Oh, one quick thing. And Sakura, whenever you hear this voice, it feels muffled. And then lastly, Stranger, you're not able to recall anything on this.
As expected.
Wait, I just realized warfare. I can roll.
You can do it, Squib. I believe in you.
I had that.
Flip coming in at the 11th hour with the full
I
truth.
was like, wait a second.
You
Squib coming in with the nat 1.
You remember reading some things about this? And you know a little bit about the nature of like fleet combat, but nothing's really coming up as relevant right now. That's a Squib.
I remember reading something, and it surprises me that I read.
That was notable. That's why I remembered it.
Oh yeah, it's been an hour, so I should give everyone a hero point.
Yay.
Oh. Unfortunately, I do not think we are going to be able to save her. I would suggest turning around.
You could preserve her life, but to what end?
We would just do it again, unless we could sever the connection.
I guess she wouldn't be willing.
Could you all make yourselves useful? Do you have any way to interfere with a psychic connection?
Riel shakes her head, and Miss Navalis goes, "That's out of my wheelhouse."
Yeah.
We don't have like a permanent, long-term restraint option.
I mean, there's always
That's no better than torture.
there's always one long-term solution to get rid of a psychic connection. But I don't think that's all what you want.
I think that is going to be what happens regardless.
Yeah. Given Stranger's history with allowing one's charges to die through action or inaction, this has been a very poor introduction for Miss Riel.
She seems aware.
I wish there was something I could do, but I don't think I can punch her unconscious fast enough.
You don't have to go to punching if we're going that route.
Well, It's the only way I have to knock people unconscious.
All right. Is there any more you want to do with her?
No, I think Sakura's good. I mean, she'd like to do more, but there's nothing she can really do to help.
We must go. We've been here too long.
And as the stasis spell wears off, she drives the blade into herself, and you see a wound, not blood, but white, gray, and black pixelated magic begins flowing out. She goes, "Please just stop it for me, and I don't know where you're gonna wait, but..." And she disappears. As if she was never there.
You need to go. Stranger's right. More police forces will be here soon, and them finding us here will help nothing.
I don't know where we
Yeah.
should go, but it can't be here.
I agree.
Do we leave the planet?
We can, but then what?
Well, I will remind you that you all previously had a decision.
Yeah, just you say we could leave the planet. I don't actually know that we could. Remember where our ship is.
I don't know if we can even get to it.
We do have two people who could bring it to us. What we need to do is get to the surface.
We could swim, but I don't know where your ship
We have
is.
we have our vehicle, but we gotta get quick.
You know they're just gonna blast you all out of the water before you get anywhere close. Other Sapphire says.
Close to what?
Locals? Any locals have an idea then?
Out of Lapicia, if you're wanted criminals, they're gonna be watching. And it's at this that you hear a banging at the door.
Well, do you propose that we sit around and wait to be killed?
Yeah, sounds like a good plan.
Anyone with local knowledge, I would love to be directed on how to not die in this scenario. Got any, like a secret escape tunnels or something?
And the voice bangs through the wall. And they say, "If Sieg Lazuli is present in there, open up. You're requested to speak on behalf of your house at the Grand Collective."
It seems they're playing my song. Seek will slowly swim to the front gate.
And Riel swims out to meet him and goes, "Are you sure?"
What choice do we have?
"You're right. If they suspect me dead, they'll want to speak to anyone else they can." Right. Is anybody going to follow Sieg?
Yup.
Yep.
So I'm assuming one of these is some kind of panel.
Yeah, one of those like a hollow panel for the thing.
I'm gonna hit the panel. It says, "This is Seagrain Lapis Lazuli. I am surrendering."
All right, you open the door, and there are more of the civil guard that are outside, like dozens of them. And they kind of have weapons drawn but not pointed. And they're kind of in shock when they see Riel behind you and go, Riel's alive. You. Look. Yeah, your presence has been requested, and at the Grand Collective if you wish to defend House Lazuli. And your companions are welcome as well. Madam Lazuli, you're, I suppose, welcome. But they have requested that Sieg speak.
Well, any guarantee of safety?
As a diplomatic meeting, safety would be assured, yes. And you know that in a, I would say, and you would know in a matter like this, that, like, yes, that, like, they would have, if they wanted to harm, Sieg would know that if they wanted to harm him, they would have.
We are at the mercy of the honor of the council.
Oh, excellent.
Hooray!
All right. So you all go with most of the city guard kind of disperse. And you know they. One second. Let me do some loading screen in the background real quick. Sorry. Foundry, please.
Foundry craves violence.
We just had some violence. What do you mean?
It craves more. It wants to kill my entire computer again.
That's not nice.
I know.
All right, and they. We'll go back to this map. And they lead all of you over to the Grand Collective. It's a large civic building. It's shaped like a pentagon with 5 sectors. Each one is emblazoned with the logo of a different house. And as you go in, they basically cast a spell on each of you to suppress use of magic, weapons, that sort of thing. And the one at the gate turns to Riel and goes, "Today will you be serving as Regent Lazuli?" And she shakes her head and she goes, "He will," and points to Sieg. He goes, "Very good. And you will be joined by these compatriots." And looks at the other four of you, and then to Sieg for confirmation. I believe Madame Lazuli is forbidden from the house at this time.
Sieg is going to turn to the other four. It is up to each of you to determine for yourselves whether you wish to join me in this interrogation.
I'm game.
Given all the nonsense that has been happening, I'll join you if for no other reason than to ensure that you don't get assassinated.
Why not? Well, assuming Sapphire wants to attend.
Sapphire takes a second, considering. I am part of the cause of this. I will help see it through.
All right. So the five of you step through. Where is the default scene button in the new Foundry? Sorry, 1 second while I figure out where they moved this. Fog of War, levels, here we go. Initial, it's under levels now, I see. Okay, and you step into this large underwater courtroom. And you see guards kind of in the room. And you see a discussion area up in the front. And you see four individuals. See, you don't really immediately recognize them, but you can see that they're each kind of wearing colors of each house. And the one kind of gestures you all in. So, what we are going to take part in is called an influence scene. So an influence scene, each person, like, a round is represented by, in this case, maybe like an hour of talking back and forth. Generally, for each of the houses, you'll get maybe an hour to talk with each of them, aka one round. And that'll determine how well they might listen to you. So there's two actions that you can use that are during an influence scene. One is influence, and I will put them in the Discord chat. Influence is you attempt to make a favorable impression on an NPC and convince them to support your cause. You choose an NPC, attempt a skill check that you feel is relevant. That might be diplomacy, or maybe you can use a computer's check to try and explain what this AI is, or maybe a history check, that sort of thing. If you make it a success on the DC, you get an influence point, and based on how many influence points the party gets in each round determines how they will react. Another action you can use is called Discover, and you essentially make a perception check, or another skill check you feel might be relevant, to try and learn more about the preferences of this NPC, in this case, of the representative of their house. So some of them have weaknesses and resistances. For example, if you try speaking from your position as a vestige, Sapphire, some of them might just tune you out. Whereas if you make pleas to maybe the threat of Lapicia's sovereignty by a Nephrim, they might be more willing to hear you out. Just an example. So you're all welcome to make your way into the middle of the room when you're ready. And so they all go, so you've all joined us? Good, I'm glad you could make it. The one from Regent Azeros goes, I didn't think anyone from Lazuli was surviving to speak for them.
Really quick, now that we've gotten a closer look at them, do I recognize any of them?
Not in particular. You can tell they're all wearing official garb, but they all seem to be just representatives.
Just carefully reading Discover.
Yeah, house heads. If they are any of them are house heads, they have changed guards since you've been in Marcia Bay. Actually, to give Discover a little more value, we'll say that each round is maybe half an hour, and you'll have 2 rounds per house.
Okay.
All right. So one of them goes, so House Lazuli's leadership has been disposed of on behalf of being accused and admitted to treason, but you're all here. What do you want to say on House Lazuli's behalf? That's like the one from Anemonia. We can either, if you want, just like roll an initiative, like a perception or a persuasion initiative or something, or diplomacy. Or we can just go in a popcorn order.
Whichever you think would be easier.
Yeah, I don't have a strong preference.
I'll say we'll just roll an initiative then.
Sounds good to me.
Roll any skill you want.
Just basic perceptions, or
any skill you want.
Well, in that case, naturally, it has to be diplomacy.
Let's go.
So diplomacy can be a check. I will let you know it is not necessarily always going to be the lowest DC, but it is always an option.
Got my one out of the way right there.
Okay, so who? We'll start with Sapphire. Which house, Sieg, would you like to engage with first?
I would like to engage with Anemonia. That's the one that just spoke, yes?
Yep. All right. So she starts off and she goes, so you are speaking on behalf of House Lazuli, Regent. What do you think of all of these recent goings-on?
Could you be more specific as to which goings-on you would like answered?
Riel's admission of treason, the reduction of most of the active military staff of the house. You know, all of these things. It's a besmirch on the house's name, and the fact that it even has anyone surviving is surprising. So you must have something to say for yourself.
Well, to answer your queries in order, as to Riel's admission, she did so for her honor and the honor of the house. She did not know of what happened.
Then why doesn't the
To
culprit
answer
here...
your
Oh, go ahead.
to answer your second question as to the reduction in force of the guard, as I have recently returned home, I cannot attest.
I see. I see. So, I see with your intel with you. Please, oh, come in. And they kind of gesture you all to come into the middle of the group more. And they... Someone like the guards, like the collective guards pull in like chairs for you all. You kind of sit in a circle in the area. So, Sapphire, talking to Regent Anemonia, that is her in the southeast of the room here. How would you like to plead your case, and what is your party's collective case that you are trying to plead?
So, I think Sapphire first is going to just be frank about the business relationship that it had with the house, trying to distance it from being a political thing, being more of a they provided me a service. This was not, any sort of official relationship.
Okay. That sounds like a diplomacy check to me.
Do you want to blind?
Yes, let me give you a DC in chat.
Oh, okay. And I am going to call upon, because I don't get to call upon much because I don't make many skill checks. Oh my God, where is it? It's in my somewhere. Astrology. Sapphire's, prayer and meditation with the gods and remembering like their influence, with Yimyar specifically, and remembering their influence and advice is kind of how I have flavored astrology. So I'm going to roll the d8. 6.
Whoa.
What does that get you?
That gets me a +2 circumstance bonus on this skill check.
Yeah, as you're talking with them, you remember Yimyar talking to you about wielding his light to light the way against the evils.
I can do that 3 times a day. I've used 1 out of 3 for today.
And so she says to you, oh wait, this gives you the DC. It should be a... Hold on, let me check the thing. Okay. Influence is not a secret check, so here you go.
Oh.
I'll let you know that she does not seem impressed by this.
Mm.
And she goes, yeah, I know that you were hired by House Lazuli, Madam Vestige. That's the problem. Alright. Squib, how do you want to try to either get an upper hand on this regent or try to convince her?
Squib would maybe use his knowledge of warfare to try to point out how like the house Lapis was like clearly not ready for any sort of conflict, and it wouldn't make sense that they were actually colluding like this. Based on what he's seen, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. Basically a use of warfare lore to explain, like...
Clearly there's something off about this story.
Yeah, let me write up a DC for this. So I see the angle of, like... working with an enemy soldier doesn't constitute working with them as an enemy soldier.
Yeah.
Because the nature of the work was maybe humanitarian, or you could pull in that, like, Marty requested your aid or that kind of thing. Or
And like clearly it wasn't like a military interaction outside of the capacity of that.
where's the lores? Here we go. All right.
Laurel. Can I hero point that? Is that
You
allowed?
absolutely can.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
Your number.
You gain an influence point for the party. I will record this down. And she goes, you know, yeah, that's fair. If somebody was gonna hire a Amirian super soldier, they would have done more damage by now, but still. Doesn't seem like she fully trusts your group yet. But, you know, you made a small influence on her.
It's a small twitch in Sapphire when the word super soldier is used to describe her.
Oh, a small influence because I'm a goblin.
Yeah. She's about as
Okay,
tall
that's
as
fair.
tall as Squib. She goes, I get it all my life.
Oh,
I
that's
just look
fair,
taller
okay.
in this form.
We're cool on that.
Alright. Now it's over to Sakura. Whether you want to influence or try and discover something about her.
She'll try and discover something.
Alright, based on, do you want to do perception or...
Yeah, perception.
Okay, this will be a pretty straightforward perception check. Let me put something in the chat for this.
Unless she really likes muscular women showing off.
You could try that. But
I'll be right.
that's probably an influence.
I mean, that's
I
an
know,
angle.
I was joking, yeah.
Alright, this is a secret check. There you go.
Great, great.
Alright, so you know that I'm gonna wait till Sapphire's player gets back from AFK because they just stepped up for something.
Okay.
Okay, with that critical success, you can choose to learn 2 of the following things. You can learn which skill that can influence this NPC. You can learn one of their personal biases, one of their resistances, or one of their weaknesses.
And the weakness is to influence, right? Not like...
Correct. This isn't like electricity.
Yeah, right. I just wanted to... that's what I thought. I just want to be clear.
You're like, yeah, I just kill her.
Yeah, she's very vulnerable to being stabbed. I will do one of her biases and one of her weaknesses.
Okay. Also, just to confirm, you can also pick the same category twice if you want to learn additional information.
Oh, well then, I'll do... Yeah, if she has more than one weakness, I'll do 2 weaknesses.
You can, based on the equipment she has on her and things like that, you get an idea that she probably has a fascination for magic, especially ways it can be used in like combat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could also get an idea that she probably has a weakness for like history. She's got like a journal with her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So pulling on recent history might be useful.
Gotcha. Sakura, I assume we have chances to huddle and talk amongst ourselves during this, what it's in fiction and extended scene, so Sakura would convey this to the party.
Yeah, each round is basically like 30 minutes, so each of you speaking is like 6 minutes, so you have time to be like, hold on a minute, and talk to your group.
Mm-hmm.
Huddle, huddle.
Huddle, huddle. Okay, I think that's my turn.
Yep. Alright, Zeke. What do you want to do to try and make your case for this round to the Regent and Ammonia?
That is a good question. Um, can I just explain the circumstances that led to the vestige being on this planet?
Yeah. I'm gonna say that is probably. Gosh, what kind of recall knowledge is that? That's like. I would take performance. Probably society.
Society sounds fine.
Yeah, I was like yourself. Like, what makes sense here? All right. Let's see. There you go.
Nice description.
You recapping the story so far, but no hero point for it.
On that note, well, I guess that's a success. Never mind. I was gonna say hero point.
Indeed. And she
And
kinda
so
sits-
I'm more or less gonna explain to her that I was sold into slavery 5 years ago, and the vestige is basically one of the driving forces that helped me gain freedom. And she is here on the planet to escort me home, more or less.
and you see her kind of expression sort of loosen. And she kind of relaxes a bit and she goes, Vestige could have had any moment recognizing a noble from one of the houses and done any number of things, and you went through all of that to save him. I can't speak for the rest of you all, but I can't support the dissolution of the house based on this. There's something we're not catching. She doesn't seem like she's really made up her mind, but she seems to not be hostile towards the group. Stranger.
Oh dear, oh dear.
You can either influence or try and discover something about her. For reference, you all have 2 influence points right now.
That's right. And we know of a particular fascination with combat-related magic. Is that correct?
Yes, so if you use an angle of talking about combat magic, any kind of like magic really, you will get a lower DC. In general, if any of you speak to recent history, especially like the war between Emuria and Marcia Bay, you'll also likely have an easier time. Generally-
Certainly. So,
Oh, go ahead.
I think in general, strangers' arguments are going to focus on the threat posed by Nephilim. And in the case of combat magic, I'm going to relate the story of the official in the house whose mind was taken over by Nephilim and forced to kill herself in front of all of us.
Like 20 minutes ago.
Indeed.
You're recounting
It
the
was
story
messed
about
up.
her?
Sorry, what?
You said you're recounting the story about her and what happened?
Yes.
Okay, I could see diplomacy, society, maybe religion if you want to use the karmic angle on that. Do any of those sound useful to you?
Diplomacy is fine.
Okay.
Since taking on my title, I've gained a small appreciation for diplomacy, after all. Indeed. I can't believe you've cursed yourself to writing 40 little blurbs.
Indeed. The cool thing
But,
about
you know, that's your
ADHD
choice.
Hey, that's the cool thing about ADHD. Stranger things have happened.
Alright. Yeah. I'm gonna reattempt that. I might as well.
Alright. Yeah, that's not a great roll.
Yeah. Oh.
Alright.
Yo.
That changing that 21 into a 33 is a success, and she goes, I mean, there's enemy agents who've are part of our ranks and turncoats now being called back, and she seems a little interested about this. You all have more
Gonna become
information, right?
the spy. The TF2 spy. It could be me. It could be you.
Alright, so half an hour has passed of back and forth. The other regions are kind of just taking notes and things like that. You may need to be explained to them as they come through. But we are back at the top of the round, and Sapphire, you have another 6 minutes or one round to try and either make your case through an influence or try to suss out more information about how to deal with this region.
Sapphire's going to kind of springboard off a stranger's story a little and talk about their encounter with Nephilim and like things they said, what they did to like overcome it. Just like hear what they learned, but from a perspective of like narrating how the whole fight and escape went down.
Okay. I'm very tempted to tell you should roll performance for this, but I think I'll give you diplomacy. Sapphire is getting an inverse effect of what Sieg is getting, as they all notice you as a vestige, and it's harder to convince them. Double check a DC real quick.
Sapphire just gets plus $5 DCs because she's Sapphire.
Approximately, yeah.
You are the enemy super soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Public enemy number one, literally.
We have hero points. What else are we gonna use them for?
Later in the
Never
encounter.
use them. Yeah, but I never use them in encounters, so it's fine.
Alright. And she takes note of this and she goes, some sort of AI said they're an ancient enemy. I wonder if Azeros knows anything about this. And she kind of peeps out and goes, yeah, we need to talk more about this in detail. I want to talk with more of you after this, if that's okay. You have 4 influence points and have crested a second tier of influence with this NPC. And she is now a little past neutral and at least wants to hear out the party. And I assume the party's position is basically like this was a setup and that there's a bigger enemy. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. Squib, it's your turn.
We're all captaining different parts of that, but yeah, pretty much.
You can either influence or a diplomacy. Not diplomacy, discovery.
Hmm. Could I sell you on an engineering lore to talk about the robots we saw and how they like contained like hidden assassins and are clearly meant for like espionage and disrupt their beliefs and information?
Yeah. I'll put this one in chat for you. An engineering lore. The diplomats are a spy.
I'm re-rolling it with a hero point. It wasn't even
Well,
a
certainly.
satisfying roll. My dice just landed flat.
All right, rerolling that 23 into a 26 is still not quite enough. And they go, she goes, okay, but like, if they were gonna be assassins, they would have like taken someone out by now.
I mean, that's the scary part is they're getting in a position where they could take out worse targets.
All right, Sakura, you have an option to make a discovery or influence.
She'll try and influence with intimidation by forcefully arguing about basically the magic they saw Nephirim using, or at least what she will describe as magic here, and how the houses need to stand together to fight against it. Or risk
Okay.
destruction.
So we're gonna intimidation to try and make a forceful gesture of how scary Nephirim is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go ahead and put this. You see their body language kind of retreat a little bit as you attempt to intimidate them. Let's see how this check looks. I didn't change the prompt. It should say scary dragon.
Oh.
I'm gonna hero point that.
That's a good idea. It's good to hero point a critical failure.
Yeah, seems like the thing to do.
You did the rar.
Right.
And she goes, listen, lady, we've stood for hundreds of years by our own 2 fins. We don't need you to tell us what to do. If it's a threat, we'll deal with it when it comes to our door. We're not here to play peacekeepers like certain people. Sieg.
All right, I would like to build off of Sapphire's story with how the encounter with Nephilim went by pointing out all of the flaws in the propaganda video.
Ooh. All right. I could see a case for computers to show the ways that it has been, like, basically say this shit's AI. You could also go with a crafting route on that, and possibly a society or survival to show that the locations were fabricated.
I pick computers.
All right.
Tell by the pixels and the way that it is.
To convince them this shit's AI. It literally is an AI. But look, all right, let's get the computers roll.
Do I get a meta bonus for you hating AI?
Yeah. Well, meta gets a penalty.
Rerolling that?
It's a good idea. Another
Yep.
natural one. All right. That is just short of a critical success, but it is a success all the same. And she goes, frankly, it did seem a little incredulous to me, but it was hard to refute it. But now that you point out that and how easy it is to just tweak that. All right, and we are on our last moment as the hour wraps up. Stranger.
How could she have destroyed all that stuff? There simply isn't enough time in the day.
Sapphire's got 6 fingers in that shot.
She'd have to have very good time management skill. Hmm. I want to continue with my with the story about the sleeper agents, so to speak, in that they are undetectable. They're purely magical. There's no technological component, and they cannot be sniffed out until they activate. And I would like to sell you on medicine for this.
I think in your case, as an augmentation specialist, I think that makes sense. Medicine. I love this check prompt generator. This is the best script ever. And honestly, thanks Tabletop Gold GMs for telling me about this.
They never asked for this.
They're augmented OP. Alright, let's get that medicine roll. Alright. And with that, she goes, more about them. Please, seek us out at House Anemonia. I'd love to hear out about this. And
Ooh, I look forward to my next round.
at the top of this round, she goes, alright, I've made my decision on House Anemonia's part. I'm throwing my vote in to hear them out and to pledge our support for them. To House Lazili's position. We'll hear more what that is and what we can provide, but I've heard all I need to hear. So you have gained the max influence in the allotted time of Regent Anemonia. She will agree fully to support your position. Nice job, everyone.
Clap, clap.
Not everyone will be that easy to convince, but you have convinced her. All right. I will let Sieg make the choice of which house you would like to talk to next.
Well, I'd like to go with Azrios because Anemonia talked about them at some point in there, and I believe that they would want to hear us out next.
Okay. Let me see if I have a little thing that shows that they're done.
I don't remember specifically what they said, but it seems right.
They should... Oh yeah, I've got this little smiling effect to put on them. There we go. Winning smile. Alright. Alright, so we're talking to, on the left side here, is the regent from House Azeroth. And they go, so I heard you all talking about... You claim to be Nephirim, but... I haven't heard that name in a long time. I remember seeing it in school. But of course it was destroyed. So go on. Take your case. Sapphire, it's your turn. This is a brand new NPC and you are all starting off with 0 influence points.
Sapphire, hearing this regent mention Nephirim and a familiarity with it / history with it, going to take the approach of why would we lie about something that's such a big threat? Like talk about what she knows about the Karmic War and just kind of go down that path of like, this is a serious thing. We are taking it serious. You should take it serious.
All right. You could sell me on either society from the angle of history or Amuria lore.
You knew Amuria lore.
All right.
And I will astrology this one. I think 3 is nothing happens.
I think it's 1, 2 is a penalty. 3 to 5 is nothing. 3 to 6.
3 to 5 is +1 circumstance. 2 is nothing. 1 is penalty.
Okay, you have a +1 to this then.
Big number.
All right, that is a success. That 38. You gain 2 influence points, and they lean back and they go, "Yes, I don't believe you've got any particular reason to lie. It's also incredulous, but I know a time when us and the Amurians, long ago, were allies to push this threat about. And I suppose, if it's returned or become unsealed or awakened somehow, we need to find it and reverse it. So, go on. I'll hear what you all have to say." Alright, Squid, it's your turn.
Could I say while Samurai was talking to him that Squid did perform like a thievery or a stealth check to kind of like get Claude an angle where you could see the notes that the guy had or like a data pad or anything and kind of get an idea, do a whatever the insight discovery and see what it seems like he's focusing on or information he has.
Ooh, I will take thievery as a discovery. I like that.
Yeah.
I'll let you choose between stealth or thievery.
I'll do thievery.
Okay. Prompt generator. Alright, oh wait, let me fix that. It's supposed to be a secret check.
Holding.
There we go. Discovery. Alright. With that critical success, you can learn 2 of the following, and if you want to learn more from a category, you can also learn it twice. Which skill will most easily influence that NPC? One of their personal biases, one of their resistances, or one of their weaknesses?
I'll go with a bias and I'll go with skill.
Okay. You manage to like look around while they're talking with Sapphire and look over his shoulder. And he goes and you can see that there's like a group chat of like people in this room. The Sieg was also like added to briefly. But he's got all the other houses muted. Secondly, you get the idea that any skills that relate to history or things like that, appeals such as Sapphire made about the war and things like that will have an easier time.
Huddle team, quick huddle.
So you got basically the idea. He's biased against the other houses. He doesn't really like them as much. And has a weakness to anything related to history.
Good will pass this info along. Like it's all about himself and his own house, and you can bring up the past and how that went down. That seems like the best bet.
Understood. Thank you.
All right, Sakura, it is your turn. The party currently has 2 influence points, and you have not crested the first 2 yet.
All right. Sakura will try diplomacy by explaining how, by saving everyone, how great his house would be and how brightly they would shine ahead of the other houses if he did it, and their names would be assuredly in history.
Okay, that's gonna lower the DC, and here. All right. He kind of goes, I'm not one for a cheap little, you know, jaunt ahead, but I'm always in it for glory for House Azeros. I'm sure I could convince several people. Perhaps all of you do have something worth hearing out. And you have elevated to the first tier where they no longer advocate for arresting the party.
Hooray!
Love not being arrested.
That's good.
Yeah, in short, if you don't cross the lowest influence tier, they are going to essentially advocate for you all to be executed. Past that, it goes from neutral to positive. So, Sieg, your chance to talk with the House Azeros representative. Or
Can I do a discover using society to piece together what I know about his house to figure out more about what his interests would be, like in advancement, ambitions, things that typically his house are associated with?
Yeah. Ooh, this is gonna be a really good one. You want to do this through society?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Yeah, let's go this way. All right. So what you know about House Azeros is they are one of the most traditional houses. They generally have a big focus on Lapicea's history. They are slow to change in their traditions, in the way they do things, and it makes sense why they acknowledge Sapphire calling on the the Lapiceans and the Emeryrians working together in the Karmic War. It's rumored that they had linked to another island or maybe a world that doesn't exist called Azeros, but that was just a rumor. In any event, yeah, they tend to be the most old set in tradition and things like that. In short, what you discover is that any appeals to like tradition or the greatness of like Lapicea or that kind of thing is going to be influential. As for this individual's, I guess, aspirations, it's hard to say specifically what kind of aspirations they may have. But based on what you know about Azeros, anyone in the house is always interested in bringing glory to it. All right. Stranger. As we get to the top of the first half hour of this debate, what would you like to do?
Well, Nephrim may be a threat from textbooks and dusty fables, but I assure him it is quite real. I would like to display the work order for damages to our ship and photographs of the results of dismantling the strange like worm engine things that attacked our ship in space.
Ooh.
And since I used survival to dismantle them, I'd like to use survival.
Is most certainly doable. All right. Yeah, that sounds right. All right. Please show off the worm schematics.
As you wish. Oh God, oh
Worm.
geez. All right, I'm unfortunately forced to hero point.
That is good. Yes, you lose an influence point on a critical failure. Oh, I saw
I
the
kind of
one.
figured.
There you
All
go.
right. They go. I mean, this could have just been any old thing attacking you, but these are living missiles. These are like unlike anything I've seen before. I don't have a technical eye for this sort of thing, but
Quite right. Us too.
and do you know what happened to this? I mean, it's up in space, and that's not a real threat to us, but
It's a purely digital being. It's infinitely self-replicating.
oh, I mean this cruiser you showed me.
The enemy cruiser.
I assume you were showing off the cruiser and the worms, basically, the worm missiles.
I meant the damage to our own ship, like that's being
Oh.
repaired in their very own starport, right?
Oh, okay. Well, up on the surface. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They just go. Either way, they do hear you out, and you get an influence point and go.
Great.
All right. We are back to we're entering the second half hour, as you all have been in here talking with them all for an hour and a half so far. It's exhausting, and you know you have a long way to go. But you all get a hero point, as it's the top of the hour.
Woohoo.
Sapphire, you feel like you're on the edge of winning over Regent Azeros. How would you like to continue your momentum?
Sapphire is going to appeal to creating an alliance again between Recibe and Emiria. Like, particularly talk about how, it was great in the past, and like, yeah, we clearly had our differences, but we have already made strides to making it real again. Like, evidencing it with her, recent diplomatic mission where she went to Sulene, and like it, obviously doesn't have to be like this because we were making it happen again, and we should make it happen again.
Okay. I'm gonna say that sounds like a society to me. Unless you want to try and sell me on another skill. I will take
it
it.
felt like diplomacy.
Okay, I can do diplomacy.
These talking country alliances.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Be a little higher, but that's fine.
I was sitting on the 18 and then rolled back to the 4.
I rolled it to the 18 on my screen. However, that is still a failure. And he kind of goes, I don't know that we're quite ready to initiate talks with someone that we were technically at war with. We still have not received any sort of amendments for what was done to Aquila. Or, sorry, Skyport Aquila. And he kind of says, like, in a demeaning way, that knowing that the Emirians renamed it. Squib.
Let's see here. I think Squib is going to. Can you do a warfare check to talk about what sort of forces that if that they could use to help fight back alongside the Emirians, and how they could cover their potential weaknesses, and how great it would make him look for doing so, like such a strategist and competent leader.
They would make what? Him doing what? Look like a competent leader, sorry?
His basically fighting alongside the Amurians and against this greater threat.
All right. Well, I will say you just shot down Sapphire on this, so it'll be a slightly higher DC. What skill are you thinking about this?
Warfare.
All right. You know, maybe you won't believe her, but maybe you will believe a goblin.
She's clearly biased. Goblins can't be biased.
I mean, who would?
I hope it's a nat 20.
I gotta reroll
No.
just because I got the hero points.
All right. That was a good reroll from a failure into a success. And he goes, you know, hearing both of you put that spin on it. If the Amurians will extend an olive branch, perhaps we would be fools to drown it. And you gain an influence point for the party. And they have moved up to cautiously supporting your cause and wanting to hear you out. Sakura. You have 5 influence points. What would you like to do?
Could Sakura use lore Dragonkin to talk about the Dragonkin's role in the Karmic Wars and that it's best to avoid returning to that time?
Dragonkin are a fairly populous race. They wouldn't have had any specific role in the war.
Okay.
You can make. I could take society for talking about the past war.
No, society will not work.
Okay.
I guess she'll just continue on the diplomacy route, saying that history could be made here today if everyone worked together.
Okay. Diplomacy. Here's the diplomacy check. He kind of scrunches his nose a little bit hearing that.
I'll hero point.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
And he kind of goes, "Oh, please, that's such a tired tale. Give me something concrete." All right, Sieg. You've got.
If memory serves, that military installation that we blew up was supposedly defunct, right?
Yes. You would have found out that it had been derelict.
Could I sell you on either a tech lore or a crafting to indicate to them that they had a defunct or derelict military installation that was reactivated without them knowing?
Yeah, which one would you like? Either is fine.
I would prefer tech lore.
Okay.
Kind of just with the spin of the threat is already here, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
Right, and they helped clear out a bunch of old stuff. Alright, let's get that tech lore check. Ooh, alright. And he kind of sits, he goes, "Yes, that base hasn't been used for almost a decade. And yet they caused so much destruction. Calling you all out there, forcing it destroyed. If they did all that with 10-year-old technology, and this Nephilim can get back into our current technology, I shudder to think what might happen. And you gain 2 influence. Stranger, you've got the last 6 minutes of this conversation.
Can I discover on someone that we're not currently speaking with?
Sure. It's not going to contribute, and it's going to push the chance of a max success out of the way, but you definitely can. Because this is the last 6 minutes you have to speak to this person before they make the decision.
Yeah. I don't have. My chance of failure is very high.
Okay.
But we'll see.
I feel your pain.
Then I will let you consult with Sieg of which house you want to talk to next, and you can start using that as an in for the next house.
As soon as Stranger pitches the idea to Sieg, Sieg will respond, I will not call on Sagus next.
Yeah, without input, I was going to try Piscialis next anyway.
All right. I'm just gonna say it's just gonna be straight perception.
Yeah, that was my plan.
You don't know much about Pescialis yet. Oh, that is the wrong. You can click that for jokes, but that's the wrong DC.
Well, now I'm curious.
So like a DC 45?
DC 1?
No, it's a little higher than that.
Oh, I can't even see it anyway. It doesn't matter. Whoa!
Roll a nat 20, crit failure.
DC 5 billion.
Yeah, I added an extra digit. Anyway.
Because I only have 1 hero point left for 2 whole emissaries. That's dangerous. All right, what do we got?
You really can't get a read on this person yet. You did not discover anything.
That tells me I was correct to do this.
Indeed.
All right. At the end of this conversation, the representative from Azeroth goes, as much as it pains me to do so, I suppose we should hear them out, and I can't commit that I will forward all of House Azeroth's resources to dealing with this threat just yet. I am open to the idea. And as they are, the regent from Anemonia goes, come on, your cowardice and refusal to act thus far has already cost enough. Look where we are now. Every damn journey, it's nothing from House Azeroth, nothing from this. You just admitted they're on our doorstep. And he seems kind of annoyed and kind of furrows his eyebrows. He goes, all right. In this one situation, I will pitch to House Azeroth to support shifting to deal with this Nephilim if it has surely returned, and if nothing else, we will attempt to help seal it once more. And it seems that your success with Regent Anemonia just pushed you over to a full success with Regent Azeroth.
Did we get her to shame him?
Yeah. I basically called him an old stick in the mud. You all were like right on the threshold, so I felt like it makes sense that you already had one success that kind of pushed into the next one.
I love the domino effect.
Mm-hmm. And the more they're all talking to you, the more they're all, here to, they're kind of hearing you out. So we have the one from House Piscialis, which was, if you remember, the first house that you all visited when you were investigating the robots. And the regent speaks to all. He goes, so, I'd like to hear what you all have to say about this. Please, speak. And Sapphire, it's over to you first.
Sapphire's gonna try to figure this nerd out. Sapphire thinks they sound like a nerd. Nerd.
All right.
Damn.
I am hearing a perception check.
Yeah, that checks.
This is a discovery.
Yeah.
All right, go for it.
I wrote question mark.
You rolled a success, so you can learn a skill that can influence them, which has the lowest DC. One of their biases, one of their resistances, or one of their weaknesses. Resistances are things that will make it harder to influence them.
Weaknesses.
Okay. You get the feeling, based on what you saw when you visited House Piscialis, that if you talk about ways to improve society, or make things easier, or assuage, potential threats and things like that, you might have an easier angle. You get the feeling that your previous routes of like talking about history and the war will not be quite as effective here. All right, write down the weakness. Talking about civil matters. Squib, over to you.
Well, using that information, Squib would like to do an engineering check to talk about the dangers of like an AI controlled system that is like kind of unchecked could have maybe on a populace of people, like the sort of drones it could control, damage it could do, may already be doing.
All right, engineering lore. Here is a check-in shot. What if it hacks you?
Yeah, what if it does? I'm re-rolling that because I have one last hero point.
All right,
How many nat ones have we rolled?
quite a few.
Oh.
And she kind of goes, we do rely on technology quite a lot these days. We didn't used to, but yeah, if this thing can like give us a virus, that could be problematic to remove. We'd have to hire outside help, I bet, or we'll do it ourselves. I'm sure House Sagittarius would agree, but tell us more. And that gets you 1 influence point. Sakura?
I guess Sakura will use nature to try and talk about how if the houses don't come together and there's a failure here, they'll make it harder to feed people and hunger will spread.
Yeah, I'll take nature on that. Right, here is a... It's Farmville over. She sees the argument, but she goes, no, I mean, yeah, like, if things get destroyed, then we can't farm, it's harder to, like, feed people, but, like, that's kind of extreme. Like, we're talking about on AI, and, like, we also got a lot less people to feed. Like, a bunch of traders were just killed, so I'm not really buying it. Over to you, Sieg.
Sapphire was right that this one's a nerd. Bully him.
I'm a she, thank you,
Bully her.
she says to the fourth wall.
Can I harken back to a previous conversation that I'm assuming she was overhearing about the telepathic bond to the sleeper agents? My angle would be that we need to build some kind of device that would allow us to root out the sleeper agents. Can I use crafting?
Yeah. Go for it. And she goes, I don't know if you can really build one of those, but I'm kind of curious if you can, so. You know, I'd say I'll give you a chance, maybe. The others seem willing to. And you earn an influence point with that success. Alright, stranger. We're at the end of the first half hour.
Improving society, but I'm bad at that.
Alignment bad. Me too, bro. Well, you could also appeal to other angles. Or you could try and make a discovery.
Oh. My ignorance of Lapisean society is really getting to me.
A familiar struggle, my fellow Strength Con character.
This is not the system where we dump D6 might.
But that's my favorite activity.
Alright, what would stranger like to do? Influence or discovery?
I'm gonna have to go with this discovery. I've been looking for a bias, I think, here.
Okay, put this in chat.
Because I was gonna go for access to Amazurian medical technology, but I don't know if that's actually like good.
There's a perception in chat for you.
Hiya.
You still can't get much of a read on her.
But maybe it's for the best.
What you have noticed, though, is her voice sounds somewhat artificial. Somewhat similar to strangers.
Neat.
Alright, we are on the back half of this influence encounter with the Regent Piscialis. Sapphire, how would you like to proceed?
I think Sapphire's gonna try to appeal to make society better by talking about like her works as a vestige and, you know, other vestiges work, and talking about how she looks forward to being able to cooperate with House Piscialis on these sort of things in the future.
Alright, you will speak on a brighter future.
But I'm not a merchant.
Oh, that's the wrong check. That's society. What's your bonus for diplomacy versus society? 6 higher.
6 more for diplomacy.
Okay, that's still a regular success. Sorry about that.
Cool.
Yeah. And so you get a third influence point. She goes, yeah, that sounds a little much to me, but I think there's some good starting ideas there. I don't know. Keep talking. Squib. Your boss seems to be getting through to her.
Mm-hmm. Could Squib, kind of going back to his first point, follow up with maybe a crafting check and talk about countermeasures they could put in place to help detect or at least potentially fight back against the AI and any of its influence or any attacks it might do?
Alright, crafting. Go for it. As unfortunately, she goes, I don't know. I'm still kind of skeptical of the countermeasures. I think they can work, but I'm gonna need more information, personally. we've got other things that we've got like civic projects we really need to be focusing on right now. I'm sorry. And as time ticks on through, as we approach the the third hour of this conversation, Sakura, it's your turn.
Sakura would follow up that comment in the natural course of things and try and use diplomacy to say that, disunity and change among the houses would be a critical distraction at this time and take away from their ability to focus on those civic projects and help people. And, the unity will help those projects go a lot faster and smoother.
All right. 1 second while I write something down.
Mhm.
Okay. What skill are you thinking with that?
Diplomacy.
All right. That's the wrong title for that, but that's the right skill, so. And she thinks about it. She goes, your heart's in the right place. Let's talk more after this. And you gain a success with that 35 on the roll.
Yippee!
All right. We are in the last couple turns of this for Regent Pesialis. You have 4 and have gained a somewhat positive standing. Sieg, how would you like to proceed?
I would like to speak on the strengthening of the hegemony as a whole with the revitalization of House Lazuli.
Ooh. All right. What are you wanting to roll for that one? I'm hearing maybe society.
I think society is most apt.
All right. You see her kind of light up at this, and she seems really open to the idea.
Reroll.
You're welcome to if you want to.
Crit vision.
It's close.
And she goes, yeah, I mean, you were around for a while, right? You said you were snatched out of slavery, or into slavery a few years ago. You remember how things were a while back. Yeah, I want to pick your brain on this. And you gain another influence point. She goes, it's hard to say for sure, but tentatively, I think it's in the best interest of all of Lapicia to invest in a stronger Lazuli. Alright, stranger. We are on the last of this. What would you like to do? You have 5 influence points and feel like you're about to win her over.
Well, as a scion of a vile legacy, one so abominable that it should be forgotten, and the very walking antithesis of Sapphire's beliefs, I have yet joined hands with Sapphire against this threat. That is the severity of the situation.
Ooh. Alright. I would say either. You can tell me if you have a different idea. I'd say either religion, society, or Ruach lore.
I'd love to use Ruach lore. First of all, because I never get to use that, and secondly, because it's the best one.
Indeed. And I think you can maybe use that to kind of explain your own backstory as you've learned about it now, as being a vessel of a shard of Ruach's power, and basically everything in, like you said, in antithesis to Yimyar.
Yeah, I can even like unhook the back plate of my armor and display the corroded, stained area spreading
Ooh.
out from my spine.
Alright, Rocklore and you're the evilest motherfucker.
Hey,
You
now.
get it. Why can't she?
Stranger certified evil guy.
Oh man.
Oh man.
That was so close.
You know, I was kind of waffling on the DC of this, so I'll give it to you. Because I was
appreciate
only off by one. So she's going, yeah, but, and then the grumpy regent from Azeroth goes, no, think about it. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. And she goes, I don't think it necessarily works like that. The enemy of my enemy can also be my enemy. He goes, I'd say we've heard enough that we should hear them out. And
If I can help it, I would rather be your friend.
oh, that's nice, but I wouldn't. I don't like to make a lot of friends. It's a lot of work and energy. I prefer to just stay inside.
Maybe it seems like more effort though.
No. Regardless of the outcome, though, I'll say you all gain the last influence point you need for her. And she goes, yeah, no, we need to sit down and figure out what we're doing about this Nephilim before it splits us further. And at this point, you have all gained the max influence that you can with all three of these regents. At this point, they can outvote Regent Sagittarius. It doesn't matter. It's 4 against 1.
So now we just bully Sagittarius. Got it.
Yeah, we just
So I'm gonna say, in the interest of being at the end of session, we can either pick up with talking to Regent Sagittarius next session, which will be in 2 weeks, or we can just say that you have. Well, I guess you all want to hear them out, so maybe we'll pick up next session with that, with the last round of the influence. So yeah, we will pause there.
Sweetly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of curious what their deal is.
Yeah, no, I think you all should get a chance to talk to House Sagittarius.
Fuck Sagittarius.
Damn.
Understandable. Happy Pride. Alright, I will be right back. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. I am Elysian. This show, Aurousa Volume 1, is a production of myself, produced under the Paizo Community Use Policy. Aurousa Volume 1 uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's Community Use Policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. This show is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. The original characters are the property of their respective players. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate you. We will probably pick back up on July 8th of 2026 at 6 p.m. Pacific or 9 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you then. Bye!